Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the Conservation Commission. All those who wish to, please stand and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Do some roll call here. Brian?
Here.
Tom?
Here.
Bernardo?
Here.
Wilson?
Here.
And Joseph Lavallee is here. Not joining us tonight is Amelia Viscay and Dora. First up is review and approval of the meeting minutes. Any corrections or changes to the minutes? No? Okay, can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Excellent. All right, first up is a notice of intent, DEP file number 0610839, 55 Sagamore Street. This is an installation of pavers and land subject to coastal storm flowage. If you wouldn't mind coming up and if you can turn the mic on and then just state your name and address for the record.
Mi nombre es Leticia Arriaga y la dirección de mi casa es 55 Sagamore Street en Rivier.
To begin with, we removed the grass from our backyard because we didn't know we needed to get a perm to take the grass out. Second of all, we took the grass because my daughter is allergic to pollen. We excavated 4 inches deep to remove the grass to set the area for the yard. The dirt was removed and properly disposed of. The area was compacted and hardscaped machinery. 3/4 crushed stone was spread in the area and compacted. Building sand was spread and properly compacted. Pavers were properly placed in the area. In addition, to prevent the flooding, we dug up 12 inches deep towards the shed in the fence, installed 2 yards and 3/4 crushed stone for proper drainage. The yard is pitching towards the corner of the shed. In the other side, a neighbor installed approximate 5 yards of 3/4 crushed stone for good drainage, and all the properties and our work are pointing to that area. We are confident that this project will not affect any surrounding property and neighbors. If changes need to be made, we are willing to do as instructed. We hope you will take all the relevant factors regarding to this situation into consideration. We never intended to disobey Rivier conservation laws, and we asked for consideration as we did not know about it. In the future, we intend to do a project. We will notify the proper authority right away. Sincerely, Leticia Arriaga.
Thank you very much. You did very well.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. So this was a project, this is an NOI after the fact, and for those that are not aware, this is for pavers that, as she stated, to be installed. And I had a chance to walk this site down with a few of our other commissioners, and as it stands, I can't see why this would be not acceptable under the Wetland Protection Act. Do any of the commissioners have any questions about this project? Yep.
I just want to first say to your daughter, she did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you for translating. Appreciate it. We've had a lot of people that have come here before us that didn't bring a translator or didn't have something as eloquent as you wrote. So thank you very much. But I would say just for the stuff that was done for the crushed stone, was it done far enough, like towards the house? Was it attached to the house, or was it farther away from it?
So it was, so they had a completely grassed-in backyard, and it was, all of the grass was removed. And it is right up to the house, correct? Yep. I can't remember, it was right up to the house, right? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, there was a little bit of a setback from the fence. Yeah. No, that's okay, I just wanted to make sure that we're getting it right. Any other questions, Wilson?
Yeah, no, second, I know Jocelyn for a long time, and mom by coaching and some other things that I do. But yeah, I don't see, I think part of the problem is we need, I think, I understand, I don't think they didn't know that there was a process to follow. And I think this is probably something we have to bring out in the city when people purchases home. We should build something because people, they don't know. For me, when I purchased my home, there is stuff that I didn't know. And when you talk with most of the people that we have here, they don't know. So there should be like a little 1 or 2 pages that we should work on it. We should work on because I'm sure that if they knew about it, they probably would follow the process. And this is probably a headache for homeowners and after the fact doing stuff that they don't know. So that's my comment. I think they didn't do it in a bad way. I think everything they did was to the best knowledge. So I don't see a problem either. Yeah.
Are there any people in the audience, proponents or opponents of this project? No? And no more questions from the commissioners? Okay.
Hi, Angela Garino, Sawaya, Ward 5 Councilor. I haven't received any complaints or anything like that, so I'm good with, just as long as the commission is okay with what was done. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Hearing no more questions and no more input from anyone in the audience, I'd like to call for a motion to close out the hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now I'd like to call for a motion to approve this notice of intent.
I'll make a motion to approve the NOI after the fact, or just as the NOI?
Just-
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the NOI.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We'll have some paperwork to you shortly. You're welcome. Next up is continuation. This is for the City of Revere, 15 Everin Street, Bennington Street, Fredericks Park project. This is with the supplemental borings and verification of resource areas. At this time, I'd like to read into record an email sent by John Shu. On March 24th, I participated in a site walk down to confirm the delineation of the wetland resources for the Bennington Fredericks Park project, file number 0610838. In attendance were Taylor Donovan and Scott Morrison of VHB, Bernardo and John Shu and L. Baker. In John's opinion, the drawings prepared by VHB titled Resilient Bennington Street and Fredericks Park C1 and C2 dated February 14th, 2025 represent the boundaries of the resource areas. At this time, Bernardo, if you'd like to speak on this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, we went to the site visit, and my opinion is all the perimeter and the area was well marked and established.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we can approve the delineation.
Were there any corrections or flags that were not where they were supposed to be, or everything was exactly as it?
Yeah, just
was stated?
following the.
Just trying to get an indication of what you observed.
Yeah, so based on the soil and what we saw and the site, A little correction was done on the parking by the back of the school.
Okay,
But that was pretty much the only thing that we saw. But they did the correction. I think it's reflected in the plans that they just submitted.
okay. We're having some technical difficulties. If you just bear with us a moment here, thank you. Yeah, there you go.
I think we're having some technical difficulties, but we'll be right with you. I think everyone has a hard copy anyway. Elle Baker, Open Space Environmental Planner in the Revere Office of Planning and Community Development. We're here back again on a continuation for the Resilient Bennington Street and Fredericks Park project. We're here with an NOI for approval of the borings. There'll be approximately 2 in the footprint of Fredericks Park. And then we're also here for the approval of wetland. And I think you've just heard from Bernardo, a brief update of the site walk, which was taking place on March 24th. And so we're here back again for the continuance and hoping for an approval to move forward. And from BHB. Thank you.
Hi, yes, thank you. My name is Taylor Donovan. I'm an environmental scientist with VHB. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to, and it's pretty much the same as last time. I had just added, as Bernardo mentioned, there were a few flags that we moved from the initial plan, which was submitted. So highlight on the slides from last time, but essentially, as he mentioned, just based on we had done the delineation last year and then site. So then, when going out to reflag for the site walk, we noticed there were just a few areas where really the more appropriately delineate the boundary of the wetland. And as he mentioned, it was primarily areas that were adjacent to the apartments. So it's the area on the northeast corner of the lot. We kind of pulled the line in a little bit, so just it really excludes some areas of gravel. Ponding or puddling, there's no soils there, vegetation established. And then in the southeast corner of the parking lot where there's that drainage that next to the marsh itself, pulled the line farther away from the edge of the parking lot. So those are the 2 areas. I'm happy to point them out on a plan set if anyone wants me to. Yeah, I apologize, I can't pull it up on the screen, but those were the 2 changes to the wetland lines. And then we did also find, it's hard to easily accessible, but Sales Creek, there is a densely developed area established by the Secretary of the EEA. So affords Sales Creek a reduced riverfront area under the Wetlands Protection Act. So the riverfront area was reduced from the 200 foot, which is standard, to 5 as allowed by the DDA, and we did provide the designation letter and a rough map showing the rough outlines or the rough boundary of that to I know John and Elle received it. I'm not sure if I made it up to all of the commissioners, but
It did.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yes, so those are the 2 changes from last time.
So this is definitely pretty straightforward. The borings, I know you'll definitely be reducing or trying to mitigate the impact you have on these, on the lands over there. And I don't have any further questions. I'd like to open it up to the audience if they have any opponents. If you'd like to.
I just have a question.
If you could come up, yeah, if you could come up to the. If you could state your name and address.
Cindy Baxter from Friends of Belle Isle Marsh. My only question is whether the slides could be made available to the public since they can't be pulled up.
Of course, yeah, this was
That's all.
in the last meeting that we had that you have the slides? It is up on the website that you can view it. You can view the presentation in its entirety. But
Okay, that would be great.
The corrections to the delineation, we could always make public to you as well.
Yeah, okay, that's great. Sometimes I have navigating, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Seeing no more questions or no opposition to this project, I'd like to close out the hearing. So I'd like a motion to close the hearing.
Make a motion to close out the hearing.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. So hearing no opposition about this, and you have definitely done your due diligence, I would like to put forth, or to call for a motion to approve this notice of intent.
Make a motion to approve the NOI.
Second? A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Apologize for the trouble with
No,
the
it's
computer.
okay. These things happen. Technology is great until it doesn't work. All right. Next up is a notice of intent, DEP file number 0610837, 61 McKinley Street. This is being done by ARM Construction LLC, and this is demolition of existing structure and construction of a duplex on the property located in land subject to coastal storm flowage. Open up the hearing. There you are.
There we go. Good evening, members of the board. My name is Paul Finocchio. I'm with PJF and Associates. I'm here on behalf of John Negosian, who is the applicant and the owner of the property located at 61 McKinley Street. This property is located at the end of McKinley Street and abuts Atwood Ave. Presently, the existing house has been torn.
If you just pull it back a little bit, just face it that way, and then it also can get on this camera too.
Okay.
Perfect.
The property is located at the end of McKinley Street and abuts Atwood Avenue. The existing house has been torn down to make way for the construction of a new single-family dwelling, duplex, sorry. This property is located within the 100-year floodplain, which is elevation 14, elevation 12, I'm sorry. And the elevations of the spot grades are anywhere from about 3 feet to about a little over 4.5 feet. So it's a gentle slope from McKinley Street down to Atwood Avenue. The applicant is proposing to construct a two-family dwelling on the site. We are going to be keeping the finished floor at elevation 14, so it'll be 2 feet above flood elevation. The top of the foundation will be set at about 11.8, so we have about 1.2 feet between the top foundation and the finished floor. There'll be garages underneath the houses. We'll have paved driveways coming in off of Atwood Street, and the rest of the site will be landscaped. Right now, the site does have a hay bales and silt fence around the perimeter of the property, and also the catch basins in the Atwood Street area do have the silt bags in them already.
Thank
Any
you.
questions?
Any questions from the commissioners?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair. Is there a, has this been already taken out? You said the building has been taken down, but
existing
is it
structure-
excavated also?
No, the existing house and foundation have been removed, and that was it.
Is there an excavation site next to this?
No.
I went down there on Monday and I was confused. I saw an area that looked like, quite frankly, a rather deep hole in the ground with a pipe going across.
That was where the house was.
It was a tiny house, yeah, it wasn't a big place.
Right, so it's excavated now. I mean, there's a hole there.
It's gone. It was taken down during the winter.
What is that pipe?
There's a pipe out here out in front. That's actually for a sewer ejection pipe that went out into McKinley Street.
Yeah, it looks pretty substantial pipe. It looks more than just for one house, no?
I think the only pipe I saw was the one that handled the ejection pump that was in the basement of the house.
It's an old pipe, it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a 6-inch cast that was
Yeah.
coming out of the ground.
Massive.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll just actually finish. The house will have, there'll be 10 flow-through vents, the smart vents and similar will be installed. 4 across the back, 2 on the sides, and 1 and 2 in the front. And there'll also be one installed in between the connections between the two buildings. To allow for flow, that's over 2,000 square feet of the area requirement, and the building footprint is around 1,900.
Mr. Chair?
Any other questions? Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, if I may. The exit and the garages will be towards there is a tree, right? Or how will be facing if you're in the street, like, if I take that, how is it gonna be the end project for the cars to get out of the garages?
Cars will come in.
Oh, I got
garages
you.
will be here, so we're set back enough for cars to be in here, and also we're 24 feet off the street.
Oh, okay. And the tree that is there in the front will,
The tree that's out here will be coming down, because that's actually right here where the deck is.
Anything else?
Are the driveways going to be permeable pavers or asphalt?
I'm looking at asphalt. The reason being, there's almost there's a reduction actually between what's existing now, what was existing in the house, and all the pavement. This area here was all pavement and house. And now with this construction, we're allowing for the storage of any water, flood storage to be actually in the house, in the basement area. And the two driveways are much less than what was out there now.
And the majority of the plan will be, or the plot will be landscape,
Landscape and
correct?
grass area, yes.
Okay. Good.
I would just say as we went to see the site, from what it was, of obviously you could tell what the home was in the small area to what the land is. There's so much land there that there's some areas, some streets where someone wants to build a duplex and you're like, this is going to be an albatross to everybody around. It's not going to fit into the neighborhood. Looking at the street, looking at this, looking at how everything's set up, I think this would be good for the street. And I think that they've listened to everything we had to say as far as even the silt, all of it, that I think it's going to be a good addition, be my opinion to the rest of the commission.
And the majority of the neighborhood is already duplexes. It's not as if they're putting in a multi-unit in all single families as well, just to give a little bit more background. At this time, I'd like to open it up to anyone in the audience for or against this project. Hearing none, and if, please.
It takes me a while to get up.
I'll give it a second next time.
Sorry. Angela Garino, Swire, Ward 5 Counselor. I have no problem with this project at all. There was a complaint at the beginning with somebody, they were worried about the traffic, the construction, but everything seems to have worked out with that. And then other than that, I think it's going to be a great addition to the neighborhood. Thank
I do
you.
too. I think it will certainly beautify it. Have you identified, I didn't see it in the plans, but have you identified any laydown areas for construction materials and things of that nature?
No, we'll probably use the driveway areas. The
Okay.
proposed driveway areas will be for stockpiling and so forth. And
Okay.
any excavated material will probably go in towards what the existing foundation was. And then the other material will be trucked off-site. There'll be no filling of the site. Grades will be kept as they are.
That will make the neighbors
Yes,
happy.
because we're in a floodplain, so we
Right.
can't fill.
And I think it'll raise everybody's property value as well, so, thank you.
Thank you.
Certainly. Thank you very much. Yeah, certainly. Hearing no more opposition or questions from the commissioners, I'd like to call for a motion to close out the hearing.
Make a motion to close the hearing?
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
You've definitely done your due diligence with what you're trying to accomplish here, from the mailings to the notifications to everybody, and people have been made aware. Not changing the grade and keeping it above elevation, adhering to city ordinance as well. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't approve this project. And at this time, I'd like to call for a motion to approve this notice of intent.
Motion to approve the NOI?
Second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Look forward to seeing the finished product.
Yeah, me too. Okay, last up is a notice of intent, DEP file number 0610840. This is 30 Floyd Street, and this is for a demolition of an existing structure and construction of a single-family dwelling located in land subject to coastal storm flowage. Now, we haven't had a chance to walk this down, and we will need to do that before we can confirm anything. But I'll let you make your presentation, open the hearing first.
Good evening again. My name is Paul Finocchio, PJF and Associates. I'm here on behalf of Kevin Childs, who's the applicant for the property located at 30 Floyd Street. This property has gone before the Board of Appeals to construct a single-family dwelling, which was approved by the board. So presently, the site consists of a single-family dwelling, a two-family dwelling with a detached garage. And under the new variance that we applied for, is this lot be cut basically in half with the two-family remaining as it is, and we're proposing a single-family dwelling. This property located in the 100-year floodplain, elevation 11, and we are proposing, again, to keep the first floor up at elevation 13, and the top of the foundation around 11.8 or so. Again, for the elevation, so we can have the floorboards between top foundation and finished floor. There are 6 foundation openings in the structure, which gives us 1,200 square feet of storage area, and the smart fence that we'll be using, and also that the house is actually less than the 1,200 square feet, so that's covered. We are proposing a driveway, 2 parking spaces along the easterly section of the property. The remainder of the site will be grass and landscaping. The existing garage will be taken down, and that will be our area for the stockpiling material for the excavator, and also for hauling out all materials. And we'll be proposing to install the hay bales and silt fence along the perimeter of the property.
Okay. Any questions from the commissioners?
Hi. I was also down there on Monday, and I was talking to the gentleman who said that was his old shop, that shed that's being taken down. Right on the side of that building that exists now, he mentioned putting asphalt back there, and I mentioned pavers.
Right now, this is all concrete.
Half of it's concrete, and it's higher.
Yes, this is higher, slightly higher. That's going to be the parking area for the abutting lot, for this lot here.
I was told that the cement part that's higher is staying, no?
Yes,
Okay,
Yep.
so then next to that is what?
concrete.
And that's the part that I think I was told is going to be at hot top, is that right?
I would assume there's going to be something to be put in here, yes.
Because I had suggested that pavers would be probably a better fit in that area. Owners, that you have the concrete area that's higher, and that's going to
Yes.
make a natural kind of,
Yes, there's a little slight, there's about a 6-inch difference.
yeah, it's
between-
almost like a
yeah.
gully there, yeah.
Yes.
He seemed to be favorable to that, the pavers, no?
Yeah. There we go.
And it's a small area also, it's not very wide, correct?
It is.
Good afternoon, I'm Kevin Childs, and I'm the owner of 30 Floyd Street, Madison Real Estate Group. My address is 104 Summer Street in Revere, a resident here in Revere. So what we did in here, where we're looking, and I'm just trying to acclimate myself to the plan where we're at. This is cement right here, so what we're going to do is where there was no parking in here, we created 2 more parking spaces. And that's what was a hardship, or what we recommended to the zoning board of appeals. They agreed that there was off-street parking because the actual garage that is there, it's so small in the way that the garage was set up, you can't even put one of today's cars in here. It's not deep enough. You need 18 feet as a depth. It's not even that, it's less. So you can't even pull a car in there and shut the garage door. And so we said we would take this down, and by taking this down, there's all cement that's under the garage. That'll all be taken up. That'll be grass. And Right now, we have cement and it's 2 levels, it's 6-inch difference, but we're just gonna come back with stone pack and come in with a surface that's come in here, probably hot top, and merge the two, so we have 2 parking spaces here, which would open up everything on this whole area where the current, this is the current garage over here. This will all be grass now in here, and then we're gonna put on this one here, these 2 spaces, we're gonna be the pavers, so they'd be permeable to have drainage for water.
So there'd be more permeable surfaces after what you're doing?
Correct.
Okay.
And then the foundation is capable of storing water as well, so you don't lose any water storage on the property.
Correct, yes, we'll have the flow-through vents will be installed at grade.
Mm-hmm. All right, any other questions from the commissioners?
Well, the reason why I brought that up, Mr. Chairman, is that usually, as a pattern, the conservation only allowed hot top asphalt in areas that already had asphalt. And any area that didn't have that before, we usually didn't allow it in these areas.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I brought this up. If this was asphalt now, then if we follow the same pattern, I would say, okay, you can put asphalt back again. But in as much as it's concrete and a little bit more permeable than the asphalt, and you know, not have the asphalt there now, I was hoping that you would put something like pavers to not add to a new area.
Well, here's my question, maybe you guys can inform me. We do have cement in there, it's a non-permeable surface, so I mean, we could use a special hot top that becomes permeable, but we do have cement there right now. I don't believe that to be a permeable surface.
No. So currently, from the foundation of the second house all the way to the property line where the garage was, that's all cement, correct? So you would be adding a similar impermeable surface existing. I mean, I would love to see pavers in there, truthfully, myself, just as Joe had stated, but if it is existing, we kind of, our hands are a little tied, but we would request when you come up to redo some work with that or to kind of change the grade, I'm sure you'll have to file because of where you're located in the floodplain to do that work on that property, so make sure you do that as well.
Okay.
And that'll probably come against us as well, and we'll probably make that suggestion to you at that time.
So what we're saying here is,
I really don't want to get off track with the other property. I just want
Yeah.
to talk about where the work is being done right now. But that's a story for another time,
Okay.
so to speak. But it is something that I definitely am agreeing that we need it on our radar for sure.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Okay, so no more questions? Any questions from the audience? No? All right. Hearing none, I'd like to call for a motion to, actually, no, we can't close this out because we haven't done a site walkthrough. So we are going to have to continue this because, first off, we do need a site walkthrough for this project. We're not going to be able to close it out tonight until we do that. I'd like to ask if our vice chair could maybe set something up during the day, during the week, to kind of expedite this. If any other commissioners would like to give Brian a hand with this site walk down, he can report back and we can close this out next month. But we do have to get a site walk done.
Okay.
We can do this fairly sooner rather than later. During the week, it's easier for myself to do it. Owning my own business, it's able, weekends stink for me, but during the week, so we can be in touch. I can give you my card and set something up with a time.
Anytime, I can be there.
All right, and I can email the entire Conservation Commission and just say, hey, at this time, we'll be there and set that up.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, no, not a problem. I just don't want to go the other route and make a non-determination and send it to the DEP or any of that. I like to get this project moving as quickly as possible.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
But thank you for your time. We'll have to continue this till next month.
Just text me, we'll set up a time.
But thank you very much for your presentation, and we look forward to seeing you again.
All right, thank you.
So at this time, we don't have any enforcement on the books. haven't heard anything, and well, I have heard a few things, but they haven't officially been made as an enforcement complaint. As we stated earlier, March 24th, we did have the site visit for Fredericks Park and Bennington Street, and that was pretty much it. We thank you very much for taking on the scheduling of this next site walk down. At this time, I'd like to open it up to any discussion. Does anybody have anything that they would like to add or discuss? No? Okay. I thank you all for your time, and I'd like to call for a motion to adjourn.
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor, or second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. All right, don't go anywhere. We got to sign some paperwork here.